doesn't have a cockpit. It doesn't have a crew. It doesn't carry fighter jets, missiles, or pilots, because it doesn't need to. This warship doesn't sail the sea, it flies above it. And instead of launching planes, it launches swarms. This is the Jiu Tian SS-UAV, China's new airborne drone mothership, a flying platform designed to deploy hundreds of AI-powered drones from high altitude, with no human on board to call the shots. And for the first time, we may be looking at the death of an aircraft carrier as we know it. Now let's break down why this aircraft, slow, boxy, and unarmed, is terrifying modern militaries across the globe. At a glance, the Jiu Tian doesn't look intimidating. It's large, about the size of a regional airliner, and was officially described as experimental UAV transport platform. But underneath that bland description is a doomsday machine for 21st century warfare. This mothership can launch over 100 drones in a single operation. These aren't hobbyist quadcopters or surveillance-only eyes in the sky. These are modular drones, some carrying jammers, some with sensors, and some with explosive payloads designed to dive into enemy ships, vehicles, or bases. Once deployed, the drones work as a networked swarm, communicating without satellites and reacting in real time to battlefield changes. Now picture this. A US Navy destroyer group is moving through contested waters, say near Taiwan. There's no radar signature, no aircraft on intercept. Then suddenly, 60, maybe 80 radar contacts. Small, fast, coordinated. Jamming begins. Communications fail. Then the explosions start. They weren't cruise missiles, they weren't enemy fighters. They came from above the radar horizon, dropped like seeds from an aircraft the fleet never even saw. An SS-UAV flying hundreds of miles away. That's the new threat model. So what makes the Jiu Tian such a shift in traditional drone doctrine? Let's compare it to the US efforts. Programs like Skyborg, the XQ-58 Valkyrie, or Ghost Bat. These drones are built to fly alongside human pilots, extending their reach or absorbing risk in contested zones. But they're tactical, short range, manned, fighter dependent. The SS-UAV is strategic, high altitude, entirely autonomous. There's no cockpit to protect, no pilot to lose. It doesn't just fight alongside humans, it removes them from the equation altogether. Let's go even further. What does this mean doctrinally? The Chinese military has been heavily investing in multi-domain drone warfare. Land-based loitering munitions, sea-skimming torpedoes, underwater drone submarines, all with AI command and control systems. The Jiu Tian is a skyborne extension of this vision, a mobile drone nest that can protect power far beyond China's coastlines. And here's the real kicker. It flies outside the engagement range of most air defenses. Its drones, not the mothership, do the dirty work. Let's address the criticisms. Yes, it's big. Yes, it's slow. Yes, it lacks stealth. But it's not meant to sneak into enemy airspace. It's meant to park just outside it and send in expendables. When you can launch 100 drones at a time, it's okay to lose 10, 20, even 50. Each one costs less than a missile and hits harder than most. The US is responding with several programs. The Ghost Fleet Overlord for autonomous naval drones, the Sea Hunter, directed energy and microwave systems to disrupt drone swarms, and combat AI initiatives to counter autonomy with better autonomy. But here's the catch. None of those systems are integrated into a deployable aircraft like the Jiu Tian is. China has a physical platform, the US has prototypes. Now let's talk real-world impact. In a Taiwan scenario, or in the South China Sea, the SS-UAV changes the strategic math. It gives China a way to attack or defend without risking pilots or broadcasting its presence. And because drones are expendable, it blurs the line between active war and a gray zone escalation. Who fired first? Was it a sovereign attack, or just a test flight gone wrong. Now imagine a future where dozens of these aircraft operate in sync, each one launching drone waves every hour. A single country could project digital firepower across entire continents and never risk a pilot's life. The Jiu Tian isn't just version 1, but version 5, version 10. They won't be unstealthy, they won't be slow, they won't just drop drones. They'll command battle spaces entirely on their own. So what's the big picture? The Jiu Tian may not win a war by itself, but it's a symbol, a proof of concept for what comes next. Warfare is shifting away from steel and humans towards software and autonomy. And the first country to master that formula, to swarm faster, strike smarter, and lose fewer people, will dominate the skies. The US should be concerned, not because the aircraft is perfect, but because China's building the future while we're still drawing blueprints. So if you're wondering why the Pentagon is watching the strange, slow aircraft with so much interest, it's simple. Because war is no longer about the biggest missile, the fastest jet, or the strongest fleet. It's about who controls the swarm. And right now, China is flying the hive. What do you think? Is China leading the drone war race, or is the US still ahead? Let's talk in the comments. And if you want more, no fluff, real world breakdowns like this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who still thinks dogfights matter.